Welcome back to the channel, guys. And my Pro R, it's seen some better days. We took it down to BMR this last week, and this is Monday right after the event. And I have a race, a bounty course race coming up. Pays a lot of money down in Texas, so I really need to get this thing going. But I wanted to show you some of the damage before I start tearing it all apart. This is my King of Hammers 2025 buggy, a race buggy, and it's been crashed a lot, but it took some serious damage. I wanted to try that hill they call Viagra there at BMR at Disney, Oklahoma, and it didn't. I mean, my neck and stuff still sore. I hit those rocks don't move at all. That's all there is to it. They've been here since freaking dinosaurs were here, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So when the razor, when I flipped it over and the cage hit, pretty much anything that hits it's going to move because the rocks aren't moving at all. Got some pretty good damage there. I am over the top happy with all my Super ATV suspension. I've got Super ATV trailing arms, the radius rods, the link bars. I took those out. Those are actually shock therapy, but I took those out just to try to get a little more flex down there because this is actually, the suspension on this thing is not meant for like crawling or any of that. It's for like hauling ass in the desert and hitting stuff hard. So it's really stiff. I took the sway bars off to try to help me out best I could. All right, just before we get started, I went ahead and, these buggies are pretty big these days, especially the Pro R. So I went ahead and took the wheels and tires off, got a little lower to make working on it a little bit easier. Went ahead and put the front plastic back on right here and removed the rest of the dash. I built a custom dash for this when I raced it in 2025. Yeah, not this year, last year. So I got to make a few modifications because I'm going to have my down tube actually go through the hood this time, not on top, just to give me a little bit more vision. Also, what that allows you to do is get it good and level, because if you're cutting and welding and banging and bending on it, you want to make sure that it stays level. I can't tell you how many times I've been building a cage. I haven't built a cage in a long time. Whenever I used to build them all the time, I would, bump it or move it or pull on it to tack something. Next thing you know, stand back and it's like, damn it, the suspension settled because I was standing on that side, whatever. So got the bungs on there, got the plastic on. Now it's time to literally knock the dust off of my bender. I've made a few things here and there. It's been several years though since I built an entire cage. But when you're desperate and short timeline, you gotta do what you gotta do. So let's get into it. All right, y'all, so I got the first tube bent up. It looks pretty good on there. And I gotta say, I'm kind of proud of myself. If you've built any kind of cages or bent much tubing, you know how difficult it can be to hit, from point to point. That can be kind of tough. And anyways, it worked out pretty sweet. I got the look that I'm going for. The factory Polaris Razor, they make a race car, and it's just a badass buggy. And those guys have been winning everything. And I really like just the simple style of their cages. So I'm gonna build something pretty similar. Looks cool, seems to function well. So I'm gonna do something similar. But yeah, so I've got my first tube is bent up, and then I'm getting ready to do my second one. And what I do, because I do everything old school, you know what I mean? I've got my some angle finders here, and then I use my dry erase board. So what I do is I just take my notes and I write the full length of the tube, how much I cut off, and it does suck. I rather than doing the math and everything, and removing my cutoff pieces off of the tube, I had about a foot of cut tube that got wasted. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do it again on this one, just so I know that all my measurements are dead on. I don't have to, mess around with, doing the math on it and then worrying about 1 inch being wrong and the whole thing's wrong. So fingers crossed that this will turn out exactly like that one, or at least very, very close. So I'll chuck it up in the bender here. And this bender, man, I've had it since, I don't know, a very, very long time. It's just a Harbor Freight cylinder mounted onto a JD square bender, Model 3, one of their earliest models. I have nothing fancy. I've used it a million times, man, but very hard on it. I also fabbed up just that little pipe stand holder that, see how it kind of rolls around with the tube. Well guys, it's been a long day, but I got a lot done. show you what we got going on. So I've never built like an Ultra 4 style cage, but I noticed the Polaris guys were running these, you know, kind of half doors, and I thought they were really cool. So I built a set that's pretty similar. Basically, this will be paneled. This will be the window net, but put your foot and step in there pretty easily. Went with a single down tube, so that way I have like maximum vision, and then it'll cut it down a little on the top when I roll the roof around on the top here. But I can't decide if I love or hate the big single bung right here, tubing connector, whatever you want to call it. I sold off the old cage mainly because I didn't have one, but it's actually the same ones. So I mean, I think it is kind of cool. If it drives me nuts, I'll cut it out and put a small one in there, but I think it's kind of cool looking for now. Moving around to the back, I definitely wanted to get some more space back here. Whenever we run King Hammers, or really any, I guess, endurance race, if I do any others other than hammers, I needed some more space for some tools and stuff. So I'm gonna get rid of this pan. I'm gonna make one bigger. It was just some wasted space here and here. We're not building a cage, you know, for several years. I'm very, very happy with the fitment of everything. If your fitment's good, it certainly makes welding this whole thing out way easier, much more enjoyable, but it's turning out pretty slick so far. Definitely took some inspiration from the the factory razor guys with this the net door thing. I'm gonna put another tube in right here. Basically, I would have loved to build a more of a bouncer style, like what I used to build, but it just won't pass tech doing it like that. And not that I'm 100% gonna put this one through tech, but I figured why not build it with the capabilities of it. If necessary, this ends up being the race car, then I'm in pretty good shape. So I kind of thought right now would be an appropriate time to talk about what tubing that I'm using to build my cage out of. And what was my old one made out of? The old one was made out of 120 wall DOM tubing, and that's exactly what I'm gonna build this one out of. For reference, for those of you that don't build cages or really don't know what you're talking about, or maybe you're in the market to buy one from somebody, this is what your factory cage is made out of. Now, this is actually a piece. Look, it still says Polaris right on it. This is 120 DOM. You see the thickness in the walls there? But wait, there's more. On top of that, you'll notice that this is a seamless tube, meaning that there is no weak spot. The entire tube is the same strength all the way around. Now, guys, I'm a Polaris guy. I despise Can-Ams. I mean, not really. They're just not my thing. But I'm a Polaris guy, okay? But at the end of the day, the tubing that they make this stuff out of is not going to save your life if you ride and crash as hard as I do. It just is what it is. That said, their tube actually does have a seam. I'll see if I can get it on camera there. There, you can kind of see it right there. So with that being said, this obviously isn't the same strength all the way around. If it's, welded on your buggy in a certain position, the weak spot could be exposed in a bad place. Long story short, you cannot go wrong if you go with DOM tubing. So if you're building your own, I hope that helps you out. And also, if you want to build your bumpers and stuff out of something a little bit lighter, like a 95 wall or something like that, that's great. However, I do recommend anything that goes above your head and going to save your life, go 120. Typical, my fashion, Whiskey Biz fashion. I don't want to talk in third person, but typically what I do, I have a short time frame to get this thing done, for the race next weekend. Today's Thursday. Yeah, next weekend. So I didn't film as much building it as I wanted to, so I'll just kind of show you guys what I did get done. The factory Polaris razors, the race cars, I think they look badass, so I kind of built like my little version of it. It turned out pretty good. The half doors, the top will have the window net. Got to get the tabs in for those. Got to get those welded in. I'll probably do that after I pull the cage off just to avoid any more burn marks. But the cool part is I got the wrap coming, got it ordered already, and I've got my powder coat guy already lined up. But now we're moving around here to the back because this race has some water in it, and that's like one of the trickiest things is to stay sealed up so that way you don't get your belt wet or take water in the intake. So I'm playing with some different stuff. I brought the belt intake right in behind here. And now I'm trying to figure out the other side, you know, used to come over to here, but I'll be in the same kind of situation, having to figure something out. So I'm thinking it probably won't be a permanent solution, but somehow just dump it into the cab. Maybe that'll, you know, keep it dry for the most part. Somebody needs to come up with something that like lets, you know, air through, but not water somehow. I know there's like frog skin stuff, but that stuff just doesn't work real awesome. It chokes it up a lot. I still got to build a dash for it, but I'm going to do that once I pull the cage off, take it to powder, put some, I'm going to put the strobes on there, you know what I mean? So that way whenever I'm coming up on traffic, hopefully they'll help get out of my way, I guess. And then I'm going to build a bumper for it. I don't know if I'll get it done in this video or not, but really the next thing is going to be get my intakes done, pull the cage, weld the cage out, get it to powder, get it wrapped. I haven't made up my mind yet on if I'm going to do on the door skins, if I'm going to powder it and then wrap them. I might just leave them raw and then wrap them, because more than likely this will be a pre-runner. This probably won't be a race car again next year. It might be like a beater, not a King of Hammers race car, I guess I'll say. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, man. So just before I pull the cage off, I'm gonna go around and I'll make any last little notes and measurements that I wanna do, like trim this panel, grind this weld, you know, whatever. I'm gonna make any little notes on it. So that way I can, when I weld out, I'll do the little finishing touches off the buggy. It's got a nice stance to it, you know what I mean? Now that I can see the tires on and see it at ride height, it's got a pretty nice stance to it. I like it. All right, we got it welded out, got it loaded up. Gonna take it to powder coat tomorrow morning. And I got the side panels sitting over here. I'm hoping I'm gonna get those wrapped before we go. If not, oh well, but the plan is to have them wrapped before we go. And let me show you guys the dash. It turned out pretty sweet. So whenever I crashed it this last weekend, I knocked the dash loose a little bit. So I went ahead and built a new dash for it. And it's super simple. I like it. 2 bolts, boom, boom. And the whole dash piece can just come off so you can get behind it. Like if something's not working or whatnot, it makes it super easy. Also, check this out. Deleted the bigger center console. Also relocated the fuses right here. So if there's any issues, basically I just made everything very easy to access. Because at the end of the day, that is a race buggy and I don't need, the luxury stuff. So I like it. It turned out really good. I'm excited to see it powder coated. So stay tuned. I'm headed to pick up the cage from Powder Coat. Huge shout out King's Coatings for knocking this thing out. They're out of O'Fallon, Missouri. Top notch work if anybody needs anything. That's, no paid promo or anything like that. That's just me being real. Sean takes care of me every single time I've ever needed anything. And I know he'll take care of you guys. So if y'all need anything, hit him up. So I'm getting the cage put on there. It's looking good. It's fitting up good. I wanted to tell you guys this. If on some of these nuts, I've got them where you don't have to hold a wrench on the backside. They're welded. So just a little tip, run a tap through all of them after powder coat, because I've messed up a couple bolts so far and I'm just gonna have to run the tap through. So I just went ahead and ran a tap through all of them really quickly, and it's just saved me so much freaking time. One of the bolts I actually broke off. It's just part of it. They put plugs in there, but it's just kind of part of it. Somehow, some way, stuff still gets in the threads. Chase it with the tap, and then don't fight it. Something else that I do is before I put the roof on, I like to put a little bit of this all the way around the cage. Helps with the rattle for sure. Nothing worse than putting a fresh cage on and then you got that rattling. So I'm just gonna stick it right to the top of there. I'm gonna go basically not all of it, but everything that's gonna touch the roof. So, well, the cage is on there, panels are on there, looks pretty awesome. And I am being told that they think the wrap will be done, so that's good. Got just a few more things to put on, fire extinguisher. I don't know if I have any mirrors left. Got a couple bolts there, but few more things to put on there, and then it'll be good to go. Like I said, if the wrap shows up, awesome. If not, still awesome. It's gonna be ready to race. Well, we're all loaded up, so let's hit the road. We'll see y'all in Texas. What is it? This is like a tour bus.
This is ours.
Dang, this is nicer than my house. I said I feel like Chase Matthew or something. This is like a dang tour bus.
I know. Julie hooked us up.
Woody Reynolds.
Woody
Appreciate
Reynolds
you.
for you.
Appreciate you, Jay.
Rolling.
Rolling on a river.
We made it.
River run, 12 hours drive, man.
My dogs though. They sweet.
Got the sweet wieners in here. They're just being perfect.
Oh God. There.
No, you don't. On YouTube, you don't restart. They want to see it all. Yeah, they'll love that. The last we made it here in one piece, and tomorrow we're gonna go racing. So today's hanging out, riding trails.
Tomorrow's racing.
All business tomorrow. Yeah, that's where we're at so far right now, y'all.
This is a live hump jack though. This is
Live
pretty
pump
cool.
jack, check that out. We're in Texas.
Pumping that oil, baby.
Get some of that Earl out the ground.
Drive one time all day and lift what you get. See what you get.
I
told
said,
you don't let her drive.
You know the first rule is you look at the water and see if it's disturbed. I said it's not and it looks sludgy. Don't do it. What do? We did it.
You're driving.
Never. He never lets me drive.
When you drive, who's driving?
He was driving.
Paige, you see how they flipped this? They flipped it on you. Hey, we knew we should let her drive.
He said, I'm gonna need you to get in the driver's seat right now. I said, fuck you. Pull in. Stay off the gas.
Now just give it a little. Give it a little. Now you can give it a little bit. Look at it, it's deeper and nastier than my ex.
I did not do this, by the way.
I can't believe Paige would do that. Dude, now I know another thing I'm gonna look for down here. I'm gonna look for winch marks on the trees. You know what I mean? Kind of like, oh, is this hole bad? Look for the tree marks, you know?
Might be a tad deep.
Dang, that thing deep deep.
Yeah. Been a few minutes since we've been down in Texas, so you know when we're riding we got to stop in, say what's up to all the homies. Yeah, I got you. I was told I got to be next to this hood rat right here.
That's the shit cool, bro.
She got a nice handwriting, man. Mine is,
toilet water red, bro.
and I don't know what year and shit that I do know. So now we know. So the WTF Bounty Course is a very unique race in a lot of different ways. One of them being the way that they do their classes. They go by tire size, not necessarily, you know, your driving skills or the size of the engine in your buggy, anything like that. So they have small tire, medium tire, and big tire. I'll put the tire sizes right here on the screen for you. Some people, like myself, I run 2 classes with the same buggy. I just got to swap tires. That's what we're doing now. We're going to put some small tires on this thing, get it ready to go. Just before the race gets going, we got a little video promo that we got to do for WTF, because at the next race, they're actually going to have a pro class, which is brand new for WTF and really any of the bounty courses that I'm aware of. But in the pro class, the drivers are going to race each other side by side. So that should be pretty cool. And now we got the little promo stuff done, so it's actually time to race. Small tire goes first, and wouldn't you know it, I drew the lucky #1 spot to go.
Let's roll. Get your motherfucking head out my pocket. Now they want to be a nigga friend like we partners. Nigga, we was looking for a dinner, you died. Just never did call us. What was your problem? Listen to
down a pretty good time, but again, I ran first and kind of set the pace, so let's see what everybody else does.
How do you feel about that run?
It was good, but Colton's got to go, so we'll see. First right now.
Thanks for being a great pit crew.
So a lot of people don't want to run first. They actually want to watch others go and, you know, kind of see their mistakes, but I like going first. I like putting the pressure on everybody else, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. I held the first place spot, and I think there was like 50 other passes that went, and then it was, I believe it was the very last pass. I actually did get bumped down into second place, so. So after I pulled off a second and small tire, that means we got to get back to the pits and swap tires for the medium tire class. And huge thank you, Reggie and Cody and Trip and just everybody that helped, man. Sometimes it can be kind of tight, you know, to get tires swapped over and get ready for medium tire. But, you know, I had a bunch of people help me out, and thank y'all so much for that.
Hey, D-Lo, cut that shit up. You dip, I dip, we dip. Whiskey, man.
So I go out for medium tire and I lay down another heater, which was pretty awesome. So I was holding first place for a very long time. And then it comes down to my buddy Colton Rhodes, CDR Motorsports, who's also running the Whiskey Biz tires. He lays down the fastest time of the day, absolutely crushing me by 2 seconds, and pulls off first place.
Good time here, she might be on the podium. Oh man, this is it, this is it. This is a clean run. Oh, here we go, here we go.
How's it fucking feel to be in first place? You just beat Whiskey Biz by 2 seconds.
Oh, I'm sure that just means he's got another thing coming for me, huh?
No, I think he probably got in the bag, son. Good job.
I needed to make up for not getting a trophy in the last class. So
Look at him, same thing.
I know, I feel you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Damn.
The money and call paper out front. That's what they say.
What?
Dolph, R.I.P. Paper out front.
Well,
I guess he's got the number one spot.
Exactly. So why are you talking?
After collecting the money and taking pictures, it's time to do a little bit of night riding. And of course, when we run into our friends on the trail, we act like civilized human beings, and this is a video of that right here. And now here we are, full circle back to the Show Me State. Getting the buggies cleaned up. Race car's looking pretty good. Ranger still needs some love over there. But overall, it was a great weekend. Thank you to Mike, Randy, Bobby, Larry, the whole WTF crew. Thank you guys so much for everything. We can't wait till Rats. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, y'all. We just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's pretty incredible. I'm a short form guy. Everybody knows it, but it means a lot. It means you guys want me to keep making these videos, so that's what we're going to keep doing. Thank you guys. Until next time. Peace.